Hi guys, if you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you're not new here, welcome back. So I just had some teeth work done. So I'm not gonna sing and I'm not gonna do makeup because I just had some teeth work done. I can't open my jaw fully yet. I decided today that I was gonna do a Q&A. Some people on Instagram were kind of like, no, don't do it, but I'm gonna do it anyways. And I got some questions, and quite a few of them actually. So I'm just gonna go down this list and I'm gonna get into some mini stories and give you guys a chance to get to know me and give my friends, I guess, a chance to get to know me better. So we're just gonna chillax. We're gonna drink some water with Mio out of a fucking Prego bottle jar and eat some jelly beans and just have a good time. So I'm gonna start off with the first question. Have you ever met someone famous? That depends on definition of famous. I've met David Dobrik. That's probably the most famous person I've ever met. I went to Chicago specifically to see David Dobrik. I paid to see David Dobrik. When I met Jason Nash with him, he said, "Hi, I'm Jason, how are you?" And I said, "I'm a hot fucking mess." And it was like my bucket list to meet David Dobrik, and because I'm dying, like, I decided, let's go to Chicago and meet David Dobrik. And like, then I found out I couldn't even get like an autograph, so I was like real butt mad about that. So I guess if that's your definition of famous is YouTubers, then I met David Dobrik and it was fucking great. Never getting monetized. It's not happening. Who said I love you first? I'm gonna assume that that's about my husband, and the answer would be me. I said it. We were going through a situation where it was a panicky phone call that I received, and I was like, okay, well, I'm worried about you. Let me know how things go. I love you, bye. And it was really early on in our relationship, but we were like best friends, so it was like a platonic I love you, but also like a marry me. And then we got married in like a month or two, maybe 3 later. What's at the top of your bucket list? So David Dobrik was on my bucket list. He drops in at number 3. Number 1, I want to go to Iceland or Ireland. Being sick, I don't really see that I'm going to be able to travel. I wanted to move up north, and my doctors were like, yeah, no, that's not happening. So one day I might go to Iceland or Ireland, but let's focus on not dying first. Number 2 on my bucket list is that I want to cover myself in tattoos before I die, which I'm getting there. Have you ever broken the law? So the short answer to this is yes. And if you guys are interested, I will make a whole entire story time video about Autumn's cool only arrest. So if you're interested in seeing that video, drop down in the comments below that you want to see my story time, because I will make a whole fucking video about the time that Autumn got arrested and tased and pissed herself. Who's left the most impact on you? That's a hard one. So I guess my kids, for sure. Like, my kids instill this like fear of failure in me, where like if I let them down, I feel like a piece of shit. So like when I had them, my life changed. Like, I was not doing good, like mentally, physically, nothing. Like, it was just not good. And like the second I had my kids, it was like, okay, time to get my shit together. Woo! My husband, he also leaves a pretty big impact on me. Like, he pushes me to be better and do better, and like, you know, he teaches me to know my limits, which is something that I'm struggling with really bad right now. And then I guess like famous wise, shocker, David Dobrik. So if you're ever watching this, David, just know that when I'm in the hospital and can't see my kids, you're the person that I watch. I don't know what I'm doing right now. God, it wasn't. This is the second time I've filmed this video and I'm still not ready for this question because Bree thinks she's funny. Do you eat ass? Do you like your ass eaten? The answer to that question is that I have Crohn's disease, so it is not do I eat ass, because that's fucking gross. And no, I don't like having my ass ate because I have fucking Crohn's disease, and that's fucking gross. That's all I'm gonna say about that. We're just gonna fucking leave it at that, because the last time that I filmed this video, I fucking just busted out laughing when I read that fucking question. how many tattoos do you have, and which one is your favorite and why? I have 20 tattoos, and I'm not going to pick a favorite because my goal when I started tattooing was to not have the same kind of tattoos all over my body. So I get tattoos from different artists. I'm going to plug all of them in the description below because they're all fucking great. So Tyler, he does most of my neo-traditional work, so everything that you see on my arm pretty much is from Tyler. I have my whole calf done, that's also from Tyler. I have some script work done from Kevin at Tattoo 13. This is done from Madison at Premier Tattoo. I have Deadpool and Wolverine on my legs. That was done by Kentucky. His portraits are fucking amazing. I just actually added the Wolverine and the Deadpool not too long ago, and literally is Deadpool is my favorite portrait. My favorite neo-traditional would probably be my dagger or my carnations. I have a tattoo on the inside of my bicep that says, if it's not okay, it's not the end. Back when I didn't understand the concept of bloodborne diseases and pathogens, my brother tattooed me at his kitchen table. And I got this tattoo in my own handwriting because I'm sick, and the whole quote, I guess, is, if it's not okay, it's not the end. Or everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. So it's kind of just like a reminder to myself that everything will be okay, and if it's not okay, it ain't the end, because, you know, I'm philosophical and shit. How and who do you believe you got your kick-assery from? First of all, I'm not kick-ass, so debunked. Second of all, I think it has to do with a lot of the people that were around me when I was young. The person I am today is solely because of the people that were around me when I was young. So shout out to my Aunt Charlene, my Uncle Rodney, my Aunt Laura, my Uncle Ken, my dad, my mom. Like, when Gandhi or whoever the fuck said that it takes a village, like, I'm the village bitch in me. My willingness, I guess, to fight with my sicknesses comes from my grandma, who just passed away in July. Literally on her deathbed, she wanted to smoke an ounce. So what up, Grandma? We out here doing this for you. How old were you when you first got sick? That's a hard question. That's a whole thing. So we're gonna break it down and get into a little story time. We'll do that. So when I was young, I had issues with my stomach. Like, when I was real young, like, my mom would take me to the hospital and they'd be like, oh, you have kidney stones, or oh, you're constipated. Sorry if this is not the video that you decided to stumble upon, but here we fucking are. I have IBD, inflammatory bowel disease, also known as Crohn's colitis, which is what I struggle with. Most people don't understand when I say Crohn's colitis, so I usually just say Crohn's. But sometimes it's one way and sometimes it's another way. And when I was young, it was one way, and now it's the other way. So, like, reversed. When I was around 12 years old, it was the first time that I started having problems. My stomach would swell up and I'd start throwing up. And it was just like an influx of, like, symptoms from there. And for a long time, doctors were, like, telling my parents that I was crazy, that it was all in my head, and blah, 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 blah. And then around the time that I was 15 was when I first got diagnosed with Crohn's disease with symptoms of, like, chronic kidney disease. Foreshadowing. So that started pretty young. For those of you that knew me in high school, you know that I wasn't there, because for a long time I was in the hospital. I've had PICC lines, I've had NJ tubes, I've had doctors take colonoscopes through my fucking Netherland regions, and I have a condition where my intestines and esophagus will just kink up and lock, and then I'll puke out everything. When I was in the hospital, I met the Tigers. That's someone famous. I met Justin Cabrera. if that's his name. I don't know. I don't fucking follow baseball, but I met Cabrera, and I met, I don't remember the other one. I think his name is actually Miguel Cabrera. That's his fucking name. And then the other one, Justin, fucking whatever. I met them when I was in liver failure, which was just caused from a issue with my Crohn's disease. I would get fistulas, which is like a tube that connects one organ to another, so it would cause like backups and stuff. So I spent a really long time in the hospital when I was younger, like in high school. And then right around the time I was 17 is when they determined that I have GERD. And I have GERD so severely that I throw up like on a daily basis usually. They've never been able to get it under control. I take like 4 different medications just to help with the nausea, and I smoke weed. It doesn't work, doesn't matter. So if you guys have suggestions besides like ginger root and marijuana and Zantac and Zofran and Phenergan and Reglan and Bentyl, let me know, because I puke like every day. And because of it, well, that's not really because I went. No, we'll get into that. I'm not done with this story. So then around the time that I was like 19, like right after I had my daughter, the doctors told me that there's blood in my urine. So I was like, okay. I went and seen a urologist, and that's when I was diagnosed with polycystic kidney disease and endometriosis as well. Endometriosis I kind of already figured, because like I got bad uterus, whatever, you know. Polycystic kidney disease is classified with cysts in your kidneys, kidney stones, calcifications, and renal failure as a long-term problem. Not gonna lie, when I was 19, I ignored the fuck out of it. I pushed it off. I didn't take my medication. I didn't take care of my body. I didn't follow my diet. I didn't start following my Crohn's diet until probably 2 years ago. I went into remission from Crohn's disease April 4th of last year. It's 1 year, what up? I was diagnosed with acute renal failure the first time last year in February. I came out of acute renal failure in April. I was diagnosed with cancer, colon cancer, stage 1 in October of 2017. I then went into remission pretty quickly. I went from stage 1 to stage 2 pretty fast. I was in stage 2 by January. I got 1 round of intravenous chemo. My hair fell out. Those of you that knew me knew I shaved the fuck out of my hair. Besides like the top, I kept the top, but I was losing it on the sides and in the back, and there was a long period of time where I didn't post pictures because it was like all gone in the back. So in February of that year, I had went into remission from cancer. I came back out of remission in July of 2018, and I went back into remission on September 24th. I know these dates in my head because they're locked in. My 6-month checkup was supposed to be last month, but my insurance is all fucked up, so I haven't been able to check to know. I went into acute renal failure for the 2nd time in January of this year. They thought that my cancer was back, so I went to the hospital because I was peeing blood and vomiting blood. And again, sorry if this is not the fucking video that you signed up for, but here we are. I went into acute renal failure in January. They thought my cancer was back because my platelet count was all fucked up. And then they found out that it was not cancer and that I have lupus. The lupus diagnosis was like I guess it was like a bumpy roller coaster. It started in November of last year and then made its way over, like, they said it was RA, and then they said it was lupus, and then they said it was RA, and then they said it was lupus, and then they confirmed in January that it was in fact lupus, and then later on in February they confirmed that it was lupus and RA because they treated my lupus and my rheumatoid level was still excessively high. I didn't know jack shit about lupus, but on top of the renal failure, I experienced radiation in my legs. The chemotherapy that I did over the course of the time from July to September, I did 8 weeks of the oral medication of chemo, and it caused me to have neuropathy in my left leg. And then the back pain from the lupus deteriorated my L3 through L5. So I'm losing feeling in my hands and in my leg. My knuckles are starting to turn from the RA, and my rheumatologist has said that it is one of the most progressive cases of RA that he's seen in a 23-year-old in a very long time. So I took disability in January because of the renal failure that they thought was cancer that wasn't actually cancer, and then they're like, yay, you don't have cancer, yay, and I'm like, what the fuck? How is that any better? It ain't. So if you guys do follow my posts, you know that my insurance has been fucked up, thanks Donald Trump. So we'll find out how well that my renal failure goes. Because last time it was checked, my filtration rate was under 50. So I'm going into chronic failure, which from what I've been told is harder to come back from. I've lost 30 pounds since last month. And yeah, so I was about 12 years old when I first got my diagnosis, when I first found out I was sick, and it's just been like an ongoing, like, different diagnosis throughout. So I guess really, like, how old were you when you got sick is kind of a vague question, because, honey, I've been sick. We was born with this. But I didn't start actually getting sick and, like, into the terminal range until I was, like, older. My last question is, what happened to your teeth? So this person has followed my rants on Facebook. I'm a teeth grinder when I sleep, and I woke up on like a Friday night. It was like 3 a.m. and the whole left side of my face hurt, and I was like, fuck, dude. And I had clove oil, so I went in my medicine cabinet, I put some clove oil on there, because like my baby daddy's mom was like, clove oil works great. Fucking does, but only for like 20 minutes at a time. So the weekend progressed, and by Sunday I was like, fuck, dude, my face hurts. So I went to the ER. They gave me a dental block. It didn't fucking work. I met with a dentist on that following Monday, and they're like, yeah, you need some teeth pulled, bro. You broke a filling, bro. And I was like, shit, bro. And then it was just like a whole thing from there. Like, I don't have dental insurance, so I had to like fight with a bunch of people about getting my shit fixed. And it was real expensive and cost me way more money than I'm willing to admit. I just burped. So I got my teeth ripped out. I got 4 of them. I got 1 on this side and 3 on this side taken out. That's pretty much it. I grind my teeth in my sleep. I brush my teeth twice a day. I use floss. I use mouthwash. I whiten my teeth. I take care of them, but like, I was on steroids for 7.5 years for my illnesses, and it causes what's called decalcification. So like over time, your teeth just crumble. Like, it's probably not gonna be like the prettiest when I get older, because I'm gonna end up losing my teeth anyway. Besides that, I didn't really have any other cavities, just like the shit that they pulled out pretty much, and like a tooth over here and like one of the teeth up here need to be fixed. But for the most part, like, the dentist pretty much said like, hey, you did pretty well considering the circumstances, and like chemo and shit ruins your teeth too. So like, it's not something that I didn't expect to happen. I was just mad because like I woke up with it and I was like, motherfucker, why? Like, why? So I think that is all the questions that people had for me. It sure is. If you guys like this video and you want to see more content like this, let me know, because I'm totally open to doing stuff like this. I might try to get somebody to come in and film with me. Maybe me and Aaron will do a Q&A next week. But I'll probably just pull shit off the internet for that, because like, I put out a post on Instagram like several hours ago asking for questions, and the questions didn't start rolling in until I hit all of my social media with that shit. And I'm just not waiting until last minute. And this video isn't even fucking going up tonight. It's going up tomorrow, because I'm gonna actually edit shit and quit being a piece of garbage. Anyway, if you guys like this video and you want to see more content from me, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so that you can see when I post weekly, maybe. I don't stick to my fucking upload schedule ever. I post makeup videos on Monday, singing videos on Sunday, but I kind of suck at both of those right now because my mom.